recently, Matt at Model Car Videos posted a video asking a question: why do we build what we build? I've seen a bunch of guys give answers to that, so I figured let me just toss my hat in that ring and try and see if I can explain why I build, what I choose to build. And the easiest answer to that is I just build whatever happens to spark my interest at the moment. That's pretty much it. It can be anything and everything. Let me give you an example. I'll show you some of my builds and, tell you why I did them. Now, this little collection of builds that I have here is a perfect example. You see their cars, so you're saying to yourself, yeah, he builds cars. That's what I did. No, that's not why I built them. Each one has a reason for being here, and it's a reason that just kind of popped into my head, and I decided to go with it. Like when I first started, I started again with the hobby. I decided, you know what would be cool? A TV-themed build series. So I just started racking my brain, trying to figure out how many cars, TV cars, I could build. And I started with two of my favorites, the Miami Vice Daytona Spider and the Miami Vice, the Ferrari Testarossa, one is the monogram, let me see, can we focus on? One is the monogram Miami Vice Ferrari Testarossa, and the other one is the Tamiya Ferrari Testarossa. So I did a comparison build of that. Then I went to Starsky and Hutch. Then I went to Speed Racer. Then I went to Knight Rider. And then I jumped on Supernatural. Gotta put the hood back on that. And then I went to Angel. Not really a car centric show, but he did have a pretty cool car on there, so I turned this Plymouth GTX into the Angel Mobile. And that started me off on this crazy build experience. From there I decided, hey, I like the Mazda RX-7. Let me build one of those. And I just happened to run across a kit from Revell, which I really recommend. It's a great kit. That's why since I did the first gen RX-7, I'm going to do a third gen RX-7. No rhyme or reason, just because. Then I really took an interest, in the Pontiac Firebird, and I had this night kit from 1997. Something just piqued my interest in it. I guess I saw a video or something, and so then I just decided, yeah, this is what I want to build. I'm going to do that next. And then of course everybody knows about my fascination with Fieros, so I took this cutaway Fiero that I started over 20 or 30 years ago, and decided, you know what, I'm just finally going to put it together and get it finished. And then built my recent build of the 1985 Fiero GT. Then there was a cancer awareness build. A Porsche 914, just because my buddy has a Porsche 914, so I took an interest in the car and said, hey, I'm going to build that. But every single one of these was built just because I made a spur-of-the-moment decision. Now, from there, we move on to some of the other subject matter. As you guys may know about me, I'm a huge Star Trek fan. So I decided, yeah, the Miranda. They came out with the Miranda. I love this starship from Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, so I had to get it and build it. I saw it and I just picked it up and said, yeah, this is something I need to build. Then, of course, we have the Polar Lights, Klingon, Bird of Prey, and Oberth class starship. The Mandalorian Razor Crest that I just did recently. As a matter of fact, this was my last build. The Walker class from Star Trek Discovery. As a big Star Trek fan, I find one, and I don't just go out looking for a Star Trek kit. I just happen to be in the hobby shop, and if I see one I like, I just pick it up. One of the big things that gets me is box art. you know, box art is what I'm in the hobby shop. I'm looking around, and we take a quick peek at my stash. Every single one of these, or just about all of them, I picked because the box art just grabbed my attention. Especially that one, which at some point I'm going to build because I love the Battlecruiser model. But every one of these had box art that for one reason or another just grabbed my attention. So I figured, okay, time to pick the kit up. And at some point I'll build it. There's more of them back there. We can't go back there because it's just crowded. And then there's my love of anime. I mean, Japanese animation just happens to be something that I'm really into. So every once in a while I'll pick up a Gundam kit. This is Votoms. I picked one of those up, which I'm looking forward to building a larger scale versions of this little guy. You know, then I decide I'm going to do something wacky, like make a Gundam all chrome. This is an old Legis kit from the 80s, which I decided to build. I have a bunch of old stash kits from the 80s, and one day I just said to myself, hey, look at this. Why don't I just pick this up and build it? You know, and then at one point I decided, yeah, I'm going to build a garage setting. So I grabbed a couple of the garage kits put out by AMT, put them together, and now I have Starfleet motors with several cars in disrepair that these guys are putting together. A few other little kits. When my interest is peaked, I'll jump right back on this little project and keep building up the garage. So basically, as you can see, my choices of builds are based on nothing more than whatever piques my interest at the moment. Like this here is the Never-Ending Project Battlestar, where I'm adding all the greebles myself. You know, modifying it, doing all sorts of detailing to it. And it's something that I can pick up and work furiously on it. You know, just really racking my brain to figure out how I'm going to detail this or what I'm going to do to it. And then I'll put it to the side and it'll sit there for months. Like it's doing right now. Because I just lose interest and then, or something else gets my attention. So that's why my table is usually a mess like this, because I'm always hopping from one project to the other. I never really have a plan. It just kind of hits me and I go with it. I guess it's about inspiration. You know, I surround myself in my little build area with my favorite stuff. And every once in a while something will just hit me and I'll want to build it. And that's basically what it comes down to. What inspires you? For me, it could be a TV commercial. It could be watching a video on YouTube about an old TV show. You know, could be my love of the Pontiac Fiero, such as the one I'm building for a member of the Fiero Club now, which is probably my best one to date. It's all about inspiration for me anyway. You know, no rhyme, no reason. Just whatever catches my interest. Such as, let me give you another example. I finished the Supernatural Impala. And I was very happy with the build, the one I showed you just a little while ago. And then I thought to myself, hey, I want to build one with a trunk that opens. So I got busy planning all of this. I cut the trunk open, got everything nice and smoothed out, have it all ready to go. And then all of a sudden, I got distracted by something else. And this Pontiac GTO just grabbed my attention. I've had this kit since the 90s, and I decided, hey, let me see if I can actually get these details to work, decals to work after all these years. And so that was the interesting challenge, which took my attention away from the Supernatural Impala. So guys, that is basically all that it is. It's all about inspiration. I'll go into my stash here and I'll just look around trying to pick what am I going to do next until something just clicks and I say, that's the one. And then I'll grab it and start working on it. Every single one of these I want to build, but I can't until the inspiration strikes and puts me on a path and I know what I want to do with it. Like the 63 Cougar, I picked this up after Matt from Model Car Videos posted a video about his, and I thought that was a really interesting car, and I love the box art of the one that he has from IMC, but that was a little bit pricey, so I found out that Lindbergh repackaged that same kit, and I picked that one up. The box art is not as nice as the one that he's got, but it's still a really cool car, and I'm really looking forward to building it. But it just has, the inspiration to grab it and build it just hasn't hit me yet. I know I want to build it, but I can't until the inspiration hits me and the vision pops into my head of what I want to do with it. So that's when I jump on a kit. This Fujimi enthusiast model of the Ferrari Daytona, I really want to put this together because this is an amazing kit. The Tamiya Nissan Fairlady Z, another amazing kit. I really want to build it, but it just, the inspiration just hasn't hit me yet. The second gen RX-7 to go with the other two. Again, want to build it, but I'm just not there yet with the kit. So all of these here are all kits that I want to build and that someday I will build, but not until I get inspired to go in a direction with them is what I'm trying to get at. I don't just build to build something. I build because I have a direction I want to go with a kit. And until that vision gets in my head, I pretty much won't touch a kit, or I'll move on to a brand new kit or pick something else up. Like I just picked up this 64 convertible because I just thought it was a really cool design of a car and I like the box art. So right now I'm more inspired to build this than I am anything in there because I just really think it's a good looking car and I really just want to put it together. And this that I recently had on the video, on my shop update video, I really want to build because it's just so unusual and I've never done anything like this before. So my interest has really peaked and I haven't touched it yet because I don't know exactly what direction I want to go on with it. But I'm really intrigued by it. So this may actually move up in the queue of what I'm going to build next. So I don't know how you guys decide what you want to build, but like I've said already a couple of times, for me it's all about inspiration. And if I'm in the middle of a build and then something else catches my attention and I'm inspired to do something else, that build will go on hold until I get inspired to go back to it. And in that way, I never get bored. You know, sometimes you're building and building, you just get bored, building the same thing all over again. You know, because you're not building for any reason other than just to build. And for me, that doesn't work. For other people, that may work, and that's fine. But for me, that doesn't work. I can't build just to build. I have to build. I have to have a plan. I have to have a mission for each build so I can complete that mission, attain that goal, and then move on to the next one. And I think that is the best way to describe why I build what I build. So that's what works for me. You know, and what do you guys think? I'm really enjoying looking at these videos to learn why you guys build what you build. As that tells us more about you than it does about anything else. So now you know why I build what I build. Okay, guys, that's going to be it for this one, and I'll see you on the next one.